When I was 18 years old, desperate in high school, really looking for someone to work under, there was two people in particular that I really wanted to work under. One was this guy, George Gammon, who I ended up getting a tattoo of his logo. Huge story. Watch my first video if you want to check that out. I got the job with him. The second guy was this older guy, Doug Casey. And the reason why I really wanted to work under him was because he was an older guy, but just did not give a fuck about what anyone said. He would just do whatever he wanted at all times. He didn't care if it was politically incorrect. He didn't care about the consequences. He had made enough money to have enough freedom to do and say whatever he wanted. He reached complete freedom. And he's a complete savage. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because yesterday I had a three-person conversation. I met Doug at Casey and I met George. I've actually worked with Doug on a few projects in the past. I've become pretty good friends with him. But yesterday I had a conversation with George Gammon and Doug Casey, who were the two people that I really looked up to, that now I've been able to make great friendships and work with both of them. First off, that's crazy. But second, I'm just going to tell you guys what actually happened. Just a brief overview. I am going to be driving from Colombia to Argentina in April or late March, where that's about a 3-week drive. That's a long ass drive of pure highway, some off-roading. I don't know what the hell it incurs. And we are going to be using nothing but gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Me and George, we will be going to Doug Casey's little ranch that he has in Argentina, where he has 105,000 acre ranch. 105,000 acres. That's like 15 miles of land that he has in Argentina. We're going to be doing this for like a YouTube daily vlog challenge, like Ryan Trahan, where we can't use cash type of ordeal. We're going to be doing that for George Gammon's channel, which should be a lot of fun. It should be a really good adventure, but we were just running the okay around Doug Casey. There was something that happened when his wife had already heard about this challenge and she was in the room, and she's a very old lady who speaks in a very strong British accent. And she said, "Oh, Doug, you should go on the trip with them, buy a car and you should drive." And Doug now is a very angry old man, and he plays the part very well of the angry grandfather. And it looked like he just swallowed a lemon and his face was cringed and gagged, and he looked at us and her like she just said that they just killed their son, because obviously he didn't want to go and his wife was volunteering him. But I just thought, and visually can capture that moment in a screenshot. It almost sums up Doug now. One time after I had met Doug, I got the opportunity to go to the airport with him. And he's historically hated government employees because he thinks they provide no real value to society. He's a very hardcore libertarian. But when we were in the airport, of course, they pat him down, which could not have been a worse move. And he just says, in the most blatant straight face, after we get through security and they pat him down, he looks the person in the face and he said, "This is probably the most demoralizing job you could have picked on human earth." He said, "Your mother must be so proud of you." And I thought that was incredibly rude, but one of the funniest things I had ever seen in my entire life, to say that to somebody, to not care about the consequences of anything. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that he says. I disagree with a lot of it, but I respect that he will say whatever he thinks, regardless of the outcome. That's how a lot of anime protagonist characters are that I look up to. Or I wouldn't say look up to, but I aspire like a lot of their character traits, because pretty much all anime protagonists in a lot of genres, the main character has a moral standpoint that they stand by and they live by, and they will, if anybody says something against what they believe in, they are going to dispute it, either in some sort of fighting verbally. They are going to dispute what they disagree with from a moral level. And that's why I respect this guy, Doug Casey, so much, because he has his moral foundation and he will not deviate from it ever. And he's so wildly good with words and this philosopher type of ordeal. He is one of the best 3-series books of all time. It goes speculator, drug lord, assassin, and I absolutely loved it. So the guy can really use his tongue in dialogue. I am actually on my laptop. Let's not get into a car accident. Showing that I am on my hotspot connected to my laptop so I can make a video in my car. Like Sam Sulik, I guess. He always does the car vlogs, but I'm really trying to think through how to tell a better story. Obviously, I tried to tell a story in this video and it was not good. It was not good at all. But listening to Doug yesterday, he was telling us stories. And he is one of the best storytellers I've ever heard, where you can visually capture exactly what he's saying in probably more detail than it actually happened. He really turns it to life, and he makes it to the point where it is the most vibrant and entertaining story ever. And he could just be describing something so bland. He could turn a very bland subject and turn it into something like super grand because of how good he can use words. And that's such a great skill set to have. It's something that I definitely need to practice, and it is a skill set that you can train. I guess just telling more stories would help. But I've never really been a good storyteller. I've got to go. I'm fucking rambling. This bothers me. When I sit here and I ramble about nothing, no substance, goodbye.